Good morning, folks. Just waiting a couple minutes for the live audience to build. Hope everyone's doing well. I had a good weekend. Definitely appreciate the phone call I just got so that my camera will turn on and I can start receiving messages from you guys, and here they come. So, good morning, Hitman. Marquez King Linton. Good morning, Justin Meyer. Over in Galveston, Texas. Holy moly. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Stop it. Good morning, Jiggy Fly. Good morning. Good afternoon, or whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Black Dragon National President. My name is Black Dragon. It's a pleasure to speak to you all. Listen, do me a favor, those of you who watch my channel. There's this idiot with another channel who just insists on spreading as many lies about me as he can spread. So, I know he's got good content on some of the things he does, and many of you will watch him that watch me. So that's fine. Just please miss me with all these questions about that retarded stuff he has to say about me. Just leave that off my channel. And believe what you want to believe, but I just don't have the time nor the inclination to want to answer somebody else's accusations of who they think I am or who they claim I am. So, is it true you tow your RV behind your motorcycle behind your RV? I mean, who has time for that? I don't do drama. What I talk about is MC protocol. If I don't ride my motorcycle, if that's what you think, and you think that my motorcycle club would let me get away with that and stay in a position of any kind of leadership, then you don't know MC protocol. And you shouldn't be watching this channel to figure out whether or not I ride a motorcycle. You should be watching this channel to learn you some MC protocol. So, for any of you who want to ask that, no, I don't ride a motorcycle, and I never have. Okay? So you can tune out now, and I'll be good with that. So, in any event, back to some real motorcycle protocol stuff. And, let me just get this other thing straight. I'm here on this channel for 99 percenters. That's what I'm here for. To talk about what we go through. And, 99 percenter might not be a term you've ever heard. So let's just say people that are not in dominant motorcycle clubs. Those of us who exist on this tier. Those of us who sometimes they're called family clubs. Sometimes they're called mom and pop clubs. Some would even call them social motorcycle clubs. Whatever your term. Some people call them traditional motorcycle clubs. I've also heard them lumped into the term 99 percenters. I kind of like that term. It gets them all. Even riding clubs will listen to what we're talking about. We're talking about two things when it comes to outer clubs dealing on the set. We talk about the things that you have to do to get along on the set in peace. Now there's a whole cupboard of folks that belong in motorcycle clubs that don't do that. They don't care about peace. Nobody's going to tell them what to do. They'll follow the MC protocol they want to follow. What are you on my channel for? You don't need anything I'm talking about. Go do your thing. I don't want to hear you. The folks that watch my channel, over 2 million now, they don't want to hear you either. We're doing just fine. Been doing it for 44 years, longer than most of y'all have been riding, longer than most of your motorcycle clubs have been around. We've been getting along just fine. Dragon, I've watched a lot of your videos, very interesting. I have ridden for 40 years and I don't know all have been a patch holder, etc. Very informative for the newbies. And that's exactly why I started doing this channel, for the newbies. The old bees don't want to hear jack I gotta say. They know it all already. So go start your own channel. I'm sure people will follow you. Hell, I might even become a subscriber. I also talk about intra club responsibilities. Like, since I've been in the club for so long and I've seen so many negative things, I see how people treat each other and the mistakes they make in taking liberties that they really shouldn't take. So my next mission is to talk to members about how to treat each other like golden pieces of precious nuggets. And I think if more clubs did that, what you would have is less of the turnover. And sometimes people don't know how to do that. So we talk about it. We talk about it in the videos. That's it. And every now and then, maybe we'll talk about stuff like riding, as that's important in terms of that's what we do. You might see a video of me riding here or there. But if it just really pisses you off to the max that I'm walking down the street and getting skinny, instead of doing a video from my motorcycle, don't tune in. Don't tune in. If you want to ride with me, there's plenty of opportunities. I ride cross country sometimes as much as 20 times per year. So I put it out when I'm riding. So all the big bad riders can definitely ride with me cross country. You can pick me up in a city and ride with me for 50 miles, or meet me in city and ride with me for 400 miles, or ride with me coast to coast. I got a ride coming up in June. Oh, I got one in May, got one in July. I got rides all over the summer, so we can ride together all day long. Well, on this channel, we're going to talk about what I want to talk about. So, just thought I'd say that because sometimes you guys actually do get under my skin. And all these people from all over the place, I know where they're coming from. Is it true you tow your motorcycle behind your RV? Well, one person has put out this garbage, and yes, it is true. I have towed my motorcycle behind my RV. And I got a freaking RV. Do you? So if I feel like towing my motorcycle behind it, I will. And I don't give a damn what you have to say about it. I've probably forgotten more years on a motorcycle sleeping under the stars in the rain than you probably will ever know about. So I imagine as I get older, I might start taking my RV more. And What's that got to do about how you treat your brothers in a motorcycle club? That's what we want to talk about here. So, oh, thanks a lot. Somebody said you still got a local beer with your name at it in in Tuscaloosa. That's in Florida, right? I'm coming. So, in any event, I wanted to talk about today's question, and I have this new feature on my YouTube, and the feature is called Community. It's a community tab, and it's really cool because it lets me act like I'm on Facebook. You know, you can put pictures and polls and all kinds of stuff up. So I put a poll up 2 days ago, and I want to thank you for the over 300 votes on that poll. Over 300 votes, and over 50 comments. So I think that was pretty successful for the first iteration, my first test of that platform. So I think what I might do is put a question up about a video that's going to precede the video, and then we get into the video. That might work, so we're going to try that. So if you go to my page and you look up the community tab, will be today's question. And today's question comes kind of from a message I got, and you can read the message in its entirety on the community tab. But basically, the guy said, you know, I like your Black Dragon and your videos are really great, but I just can't follow you on the part where it says I've got a prospect. Somebody said the prospect book that I wrote made me grow as a prospect. Now I'm a full patch member. Well, first of all, thank you for reading the book. Second of all, thank you for your kind words. And third of all, I'm so glad that that book helped you in any way. That was its intent. And it just, when I hear things like that, it helps me to know that the work I've done has gone to benefit someone. And that's why I did it. So I'm just so thankful. And to me, that's a successful outcome. And if I can only help one person, I would be very, very happy to have been blessed enough that God would enable me to help one person. Now, I'm not a preacher. I didn't get a church. You know, that wasn't my calling. My calling was to help in this way, so I'm glad that I did. So going back to this today's topic. So the guy writes me, he goes, so listen, I'm a vet, and I'm a real vet. You know, I fought, several tours, I was deployed, and I did the bad stuff, the tough stuff, the rough and tumble stuff. And so for me, personally, I just can't really see myself prospecting for anyone. I can't see myself bowing down to some civilian. I can't see myself watching the bikes in the parking lot out there in the heat while everybody's up in the air conditioning rooms at the hotel sleep, and I'm spending the night out on bike watch. Why should I do that? Black Dragon, you say freedom is something that has to be fought for. Some of us have actually really fought for freedom. Heck, some people have killed for freedom. Watched their friends die, get blown up, lose legs, arms, eyeballs for freedom. And then you want me to come back from all that and bow down to the sergeant at arms as a prospect. This guy who maybe worked in a candy store. What the hell does he have over me? I'm paraphrasing, of course. What does he have over me, the great veteran, that I should watch his bike or wash his bike or do push-ups if he says do push-ups or any of that stuff? I'm a leader 1,000 times over. What do I need him to say I'm a leader for? Kinds of things. I could probably be president of a motorcycle club tomorrow. Why on earth would I be a prospect for one today? These guys my age haven't seen half of what I've seen. Matthew Rodriguez says, Black Dragon, who should be a prospect and who shouldn't? So, that's a good question. So we have to go back to, and it's an easy question I can answer in one answer, everybody coming into the club. But is anything really black and white like that? Especially in 99% clubs. You know, one can make the argument, hey, look, man, we're not 1%ers. Everybody doesn't have to prospect here. I mean, what the hell are we doing that is so absolute that somebody with that kind of experience should even have to prospect? That argument can be made. I've heard that argument made. As a matter of fact, that's the argument that the letter's making. But we have to go back to a few things. What is prospecting for? What does it mean to prospect? And some of the reasons that some of these guys don't want to prospect for you guys is because you don't even know what the hell prospecting is for. Some of you folks treat prospecting like a plebe for darn fraternity. You want people doing push-ups, and I'll never forget the one where I saw a guy standing with a sign and holding that sign above his head in a motorcycle club that wasn't even his clubhouse, in front of about 100 clubs that were there in attendance. Now, I don't even see that motorcycle club on the set anymore. They had a good, maybe 6-year spurt. Everybody wanted to be part of them. But that's just the way they were handling their members. So if you don't even know the purpose of prospecting, it's really hard to understand why anybody would want to prospect for you. I'm not saying that a push-up is completely out of bounds. I've just never assigned anybody any push-ups. Morning. I think that's, in my opinion, that's childish. I would make you ride from San Diego to Tijuana. However, to get me a taco, that's something I'd do. And then when you came back and the taco wasn't warm, I'd make you ride back and get me another one. And then when you came back a third time and you didn't have a receipt, I'd make you ride and get another one. To me, I'm teaching you that you always make sure that what you deliver to a brother is correct and satisfactory and meets all standards. And whenever you're dealing with club money or brother money, or you're running on a run for the club, you always come your butt back with a receipt. Those are things I would do. And I wouldn't care if you had to ride back and forth from San Diego to Tijuana, Mexico 100 times. You'd do that till you got it right. And then I might make you wash every bike at the clubhouse, just for me having to tell you to do the same thing too many times. And I don't think I would have you do not one push-up in all of that. Whereas another brother might. But to me, prospecting is about a few things. On the club side, prospecting is about, first of all, teaching you brotherhood. And yeah, if you were in Afghanistan fighting next to brothers that might not necessarily be a lesson that you have to learn from me. So maybe we find out, oh, okay, he knows brotherhood. We figure that out pretty quickly, so we move on to the next lesson. History of the club. History of the club. How many of you are riding with colors on your back and you don't know the actual meaning of every stitch of those colors you're wearing? Every stitch, every thread, what every color means, what every icon means, what every symbol means. Because there are folks that are riding around with colors that don't know that. There are guys that are walking around with colors on that don't know what the 13 stars are, or what the chain coming off the back of the motorcycle was, or what the guy's fist raised in the air meant. Like, come on. Everything, every symbology, every symbol, every iconology on our patch, it means something. And when I talk to a new guy who can't tell me those basic somethings, I want his patch back. I want him to prospect again. Why are you riding for a club that you don't know what the things mean, what the symbols mean? It'd be like a black guy riding for a KKK club, not knowing what KKK stood for. It's like retarded. Well, I belong to the KKKs of America. Really? Joke's on you, buddy. They got one meme like that. They got a meme with like 4 guys in KKK robes surrounding this black kid, black girl, black kid, I can't really tell. And in it goes, this is what you get when you don't prospect for a motorcycle club. And I saw it, I really laughed. You don't know what the hell you're getting if you don't know the history of the club, if you don't know the symbologies, the mission statements, you don't know what the hell you're getting.
How you doing?
Hello. You don't know who you are, you don't know what you're getting. And it's really kind of silly. So the second part of prospecting to me is the part where you're learning the history of the club, the mission statements, why we're doing what we do, who we belong to, what we are, who we say we are. And you're learning the bylaws. You're learning what's required of you, what's required of your membership. And these are things you didn't learn in Afghanistan because you weren't in the MC. These are things you didn't learn in Iraq. You weren't part of the MC. Knowing how to get along on the battlefield doesn't mean that you're going to know how to get along on the battlefield of the MC. And we definitely have some battlefields. And we have protocols. And you got to learn what it is that we do and why we do it. I'll never forget the motorcycle club that we were really close with in San Diego when I was a young guy. Still, I think I might have even still been a prospect. This guy was a Navy SEAL team member. He was a Black SEAL. And this guy was crazy. So, at some point, this guy had guns everywhere. I mean, even we thought he was radical. This was back in the early 90s. So, at some point, he came up with some California bottom rockers for the patches. And the bros all put them on, a group of them. And they didn't even really realize that they had particularly done anything wrong. So they rode their motorcycles over to Las Vegas. And sure enough, one of the dominant clubs checked them. But you know, a lot of times you get a warning first. Hey man, what are you guys doing with those California rockers on? We've made some calls back to California, and this is not the kind of club you are. So first of all, they called before they even said anything. They got on their phones and made a phone call. So when they came walking up to those guys, they already knew who and what they were. So the guys were like, well, we didn't know we couldn't wear this. A problem? There's a problem with this? So a little lesson took place. And the guys were like, oh, well, hell, we'll take these off. We don't have a problem. We'll take these off right now. So they all went back to where their bikes were. And one guy breaks out a knife so they could cut that stuff off their vest. Everything was cool. But not with the SEAL guy. He goes back to his bike and starts unloading weapons and handing each guy a weapon. The guys were like, what's this all about? Well, we're getting ready to go over there and show those guys nobody tells us what to do. So you all by yourself are going to start a war, and you're going to start a war, and you don't care who you hurt. You don't care about getting permission or even taking a vote from the brothers. We're just going to operate right here, right now, not call any of the higher-ups, and just do this thing, because you're the great war hero. And maybe the rest of us aren't like that. Maybe we don't get down like that. Maybe that's not what our bailiwick is. That's another reason you prospect. So you can find out if the bailiwick of the guys you're running with, if their get down is your get down. Because if you've been crawling the mud fields of Iwo Jima, or the rice paddies of Vietnam, or the sand dunes of Iraq, or the mountains of Afghanistan, these might not be the kind of cats you want to run with. But here they just patch you right on in. And you might not be the kind of cat they want to run with. But we're not looking at a war for this kind of thing. We're not trying to get down with these guys everywhere we got to go. Now we got to walk 10 members strong. We're having a good time out here. It ain't that serious to us. So that's another reason you prospect. From the club side. From the club side, we want to know who you are. And we want you to know who we are. You know, prospecting is a two-way street. I get to monitor you if you get to monitor me. So when you shortcut that whole thing, ain't nobody got to monitor nobody. And then all we get to find out is who you're. Like, you know, you go hang out with this new guy you met, and he's really cool. You met him on the bike set, you're hanging out, everything is cool, and then you find out he can't handle his liquor. Here he is in a motorcycle club you brought him to, a reflection on you. Has that ever happened to anybody? It's happened to me. And I'm like, damn, this guy was cool till he got a couple drinks in him. Now I'm going to have to distance myself from his ass. I don't like his get down. And I brought him in there, and he said something funny to somebody who's now whooping on him. And now I got to stand toe-to-toe with this guy I don't even really agree with. But we came together, so here we are. And then you find out he can't fight. Holy moly. Or he's yellow. It can be tough. So you should get to know people. And the get to know period is a hang around period. And you're right, somebody can send their representative. Most people send their representative. They don't send their true self. They send their representative. So a guy could prospect for you for 4 years and you not know who he is. But you would probably be able to tell if he had a drinking problem. Some things just ferret themselves out. Now, from the people perspective, from the prospect side, number one is, I don't want you to give me nothing that you ain't gave to somebody else. I don't want nothing special. I don't want an easier way in, because I don't want to hear that when it's time to vote for president. Oh, you're not really a member. You didn't even prospect. Why should we let you be president? Hold up. You got me twisted. But it's true. You didn't earn your way in. And people have a way of never forgetting that. You ain't really as good as the rest of us. You didn't earn your way in. Makes you mad when somebody says that to you, especially when it's true. Well, the other thing is, prospecting is about, and this is why I make these videos, prospecting is about service. Service. Service to the MC. And that should be something that you're on from the time you join until the rest of your life. Until you end your career in the MC. And I always talk about the MC as being a career, because to me it's more than just a club. It's more than just some fun on the weekend. It's a lifetime. It's a lifetime of service, a lifetime of strategy, and a lifetime of hard work. It's a lifetime of brotherhood, a lifetime of compromise, a lifetime of working with other people. It's a lifetime of selflessness rather than a lifetime of selfishness. Selfless people want to serve. Selfless people want to prove you wrong beyond any shadow of a doubt. I love the selfless people I see. I like watching sports to see selfless players. I like to see that guy, oh my goodness, Dominique Cruz. He's one of the baddest cats in MMA, and then he completely blows out his knee, has that arterial tear or femoral tear or whatever it was. They took a piece out of a cadaver, put it in his knee, 9 months of rehabilitation, and he blows that sucker out again. Has to vacate his title. And most people, broken hands. He hit a guy so hard he broke his hands. Broken hands, broken wrists, broken knees. They quit. Dude, I'm a millionaire. I'm done with this. But the heart of the selfless champion, he's got something to prove. He's got something to prove to himself. Love watching those Diaz boys get down. They got something to prove. Not to you, to themselves. When Diaz beat Conor McGregor the first time, I'm not surprised, mother effers. He wasn't surprised. He took the fight on 6 weeks. 6 weeks notice. Or less. Some kind of small notice he had. The guy who was supposed to take the fight had to fall out. They gave the Diaz boy, a call. I stay in shape. I'm always in shape. I might not have had a good sparring camp, but there ain't a day that I'm off my diet, that I'm not in shape, that I'm not out here getting skinny. I stay right, baby. I keep me right, says Diaz. I'm not surprised, mother effers. That Dominique Cruz guy came back to win his title against one of the baddest boys in the division. Team Alpha Male. Woo! That fight was so close, man. It was so close. Here a guy with broken up knees and hadn't been active in years. reestablished himself from that selfless work ethic. And that's what I expect from prospects. I want Diaz brothers, Dominique Cruzes. That's what I want. I want the California Kid. I want Kobe Bryant's and Shaquille O'Neal's and Patrick Ewing's, not in stardomship, but in workmanship and work ethic. In workmanship. I don't give a damn if I've been a president of a motorcycle club before. I'll come prospect in your club. There ain't no prospect better. I know how to prospect. I've raised prospects. If I'm not in my club anymore, there's a reason. Why should I expect to walk to the top of yours? So I'm always amazed at motorcycle clubs that come tell me, hey man, we got a spot for you. You don't even have to prospect. Don't curse at me. Don't curse at me. I've seen guys prospect in their own motorcycle clubs after getting in trouble. President of the Atlanta chapter of my MC. That guy got in so much trouble in the Macon chapter, they made him prospect all over again. Down to the nitty-gritty. Starting all over again. And he did that. Put on that prospects patch, swallowed that pride, swallowed that ego. And within a couple of short years, he was president of the Ronan chapter and then became president of the Atlanta chapter. He didn't come walking in talking about, I ain't prospecting no more. Morning. I ain't fixing. That's too low for me. This is what's required for me to earn my way through the brotherhood. I'm earning my damn way. Don't think I don't respect you, veteran, for putting your life on the line and crawling through those sandy dunes, risking everything. That's why I want you for my brother. But many of us did that. Many of us risked our all. A guy stacking pallets in Germany. Why do we belittle that guy? One of the commenters on my thing said, should we let you in, whether or not you were stacking pallets in Germany or you were the Audie Murphy deployed 7 times in Afghanistan and Iraq? I understood what he was saying, but I thought about it too, like the guy who is stacking pallets in Germany, he's given himself the same risk, because you never know when that stacking pallets in Germany can turn into, you got a SHIT storm. For instance, those girls that were part of that convoy over in Iraq, and the convoy took a wrong turn. So you went from being behind enemy lines to a full-fledged shootout with a hardened regular army, taken hostage and raped. Any person who puts that uniform on puts themselves on the front line. Someone called the Outcast says, best advice you have 2 ears and 2 eyes and 1 mouth. The things you have 2 of will teach you a lot. The thing you have one of will get you in trouble. Listen and learn. Better yet, listen to learn. Listen with the specific intent of learning. So, I appreciate you, veteran, for being out there. I love you for that. Many of us were out there. And true veterans fought for our freedom. But so do CEOs and doctors and lawyers and bosses, people who create jobs, and people who hang the phone lines for us to talk on. They save lives. Try to call 911 without a phone. And people who climb 200 feet tall cell phone towers. If it weren't for their service, we wouldn't have infrastructure. And people who build bridges, we saw some guys building bridges down in Florida. The whole damn bridge caved. Did you see the one guy on top of it? Now I wonder, did he live or not? They never said what happened to that guy. The bridge collapses from underneath him. This guy falls 25 feet or more. People who dive in caves, who explore the world for oil. You ever seen how dangerous it is in a fracking operation or an oil field? Guys losing fingers and arms and toes and lives. Folks out on oil drilling platforms. 18-wheelers driving through a snowstorm to get our products to us. Got to be there in the morning. Guys had 2 hours worth of sleep. Burning the oil on both ends. These people are productive to society as well. They've done their get down. They're working hard. We make them prospect. Because they don't know who the MC is. They're not part of the MC. They don't know our protocols and our traditions. And they don't know how to get down on our battlefields. So that's got to be taught. You got to know who we are, and what we do. You should be proud to serve. Just as proud as you were to serve the Marine Corps, you should be equally as proud to serve the MC. I'm proud of my naval service. I'm proud of my time as a submarine sailor. And I'm proud of my time as a full patch brother of the mighty Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation. I'm proud of that. It's one of the greatest things I've ever done. Just like being a submarine qualified. And submarine qualified is our full patch. Just like wings are the full patch of a pilot or an air crewman. Well, we don't recognize you till you get your wings, bro. And the jump wings are the full patch of a paratrooper. You ain't got them jump wings, you're just a paratrooper in training. And dolphins are the full patch of the submariner. And the surface warfare pin is the full patch of targets. I mean surface Navy. So, I will tell you, you prospect the MC because you serve the MC, and get used to it because you're going to serve the MC for the rest of your life. Forever. Service to your brothers and to your sisters. All about we, not about me. All about them, not about I. It's us. I do this for my brothers. I prospect so my brothers can find me worthy of their patch. And I've seen some brothers that were found unworthy after being full patch members. Then this guy I was telling you about was a VP, or was secretary of VP. He rose to be an officer and was defrocked. Started all over again in a prospect patch. Climb that ladder, baby. It's not about how I fall. It's about how I get up. It's not about how I screw up. It's about how I make up. As long as there's breath in my bones and the fat lady hasn't sung, I get a chance to do this again and 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 again until I can do it right. For my brothers, for my MC, for my club, for my nation, for the people who care about me for who I am, whether I ride a bike or not, everywhere I go. These are the people who love me. These are the people I want to get to know. These are the people I'm hanging around. These are the people that have extended an arm out to me and said, we'd like to get to know you. And then you turn around and say, the way you want to get to know me is not good enough for me. Hold up, bro. You came over here. You asked to join us. You want to be part of our get down, not the other way around. As long as you want to be part of our get down, you and me, we're going to be doing it the way we say do it. That's how this is going to go. That's my 2 cents. I think everyone should prospect. I think it builds character. I think it defines who you'll be in the MC. Okay, so we're taking questions here. Ironhead, good to see you. Well, you guys are talking to each other, I see. Keith Dominguez, the Outcast, Kodak, SUMC. Good to meet you. Listening in the background while I do homework. I'm getting ready to get the podcast up for you guys. I'm working hard on my podcast. So you guys can hear these things on podcast as well. Squibble said your membership in the MC is meaningless if it's just given to you. Amen, Squibbles. It cheapens the patch for everyone else. Big John says, I'm a probate for life. Always learning, always serving, always being part of giving to the MC. I like you, Big John. Keith Dominguez, Prospect Dragon. And I think all hang-arounds should read Prospect's Bible if they really want to prospect Dragon. Well, you know, I think that too, because I'd love to sell that many books. Afternoon, Reese Hamill. Without your jump wings, we called you. Oh, really? I was just assuming this about jump wings. I did not know this. Without your jump wings, we called you a dirty, nasty leg. A dirty, nasty leg. That's ugly. Sunny Bedorf, morning to you in Northeast Ohio. Seems to me with all I've learned that an MC world and trucking world seem to be parallel for the most part. with the virtues all live by. Respect to you, Dragon, and the rest of you all. We appreciate you for watching. All communities are the same. People are the same. Everything is the same. It's the same in a church, man. Same in a Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. I mean, we just have to learn how to get along and treat each other well. So look here, if the video helped you, you liked it, please hit the like button. We appreciate those likes. They help the channel. If you know someone the video could help, please hit the share button. And if you hit the like button, be sure to hit the subscribe button, as the subscribe button will let you, or rather the notification bell. If you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, as the notification bell will let you know when I post another video. We're working hard to do amazing videos for you. I'm upgrading my infrastructure all the time. You can always help us by going to our Patreon channel, Black Dragon NP for National President, and donating something to us. Or you can always hit the super chat button here. We appreciate all donations. They help us to continue to make the channel better. Also, we definitely want you to get in touch with us if you want to. You can reach me personally at blackdragon@blacksabbathmc.com. And so if you want to lose weight with me, you can hit me up on MyFitnessPal. JBunchII stands for John Bunch II, JBunchII. Or you can hit me up on Fitbit, JBunchII, or Samsung Health, JBunchII, or Finnis Swim Watch, JBunchII. You can also get in touch with me on Snapchat, JBunchII, Instagram, JBunchII, and please follow my Twitter feed, JBunchII. Instagram and Twitter, I always try to put something nice on. Something that is relevant for the MC world, that will give you some inspiration, either a meme or a picture or a saying of the day or something like that. You can go to our Facebook page, MC Talk TV. That's our online magazine where we have some amazing editors and writers, 5 of them so far. And those of you who want to write or do something like that, please let me know, because we're definitely taking on new writers. We're going to be starting a real magazine very shortly, so good writers are always a plus. And also, you can get in touch with me on Facebook at Black Dragon Biker, and that's my Facebook page where you can friend me there, and we can talk. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this subject. I'd kind of like to hear what you guys have to say. So please say something in the comment section. And anybody who comments on my video within the first hour of the video, that's about within reason of times I can check it, then I will always try to include your comments or questions in my next video. So that's kind of cool. And also go to the community tab. And today's poll question is, if a if a vet came to you, a combat veteran, and said, let me in the club, but I don't want to prospect, what would you do? Would you let them in the club because they've earned it? Or would you say maybe decrease the prospecting time? Or would you tell them prospect or get lost? Or would you maybe let them in the club and not give them a vote for a year? So there are a few choices there, and I kind of like to see what folks have to say about it. I agree, as in anything, prospecting is a time of serving and learning to become the best member one can be. The Outcast says that. And I see Helene Wortham just chimed in. Something's gone wrong. I can't operate my phone anymore. I'm getting a new phone. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you all. Here we are. Somebody, LaRock Tripter said, I'm proud of my Surface Navy career. He caught that